I have found probably the best way to get the most realistic sounding video scripts using AI. So in this video, I just want to walk you through some changes I'm making to how I'm scripting ads with AI. And to be honest with you, for most of the time since AI has been around, I would say my scripts have never been amazing to where I was actually impressed with it. But a new process, a new way of how I'm doing things, I am getting scary good hooks, scary good scripts that sound real. I'm gonna walk you through some of the things that I'm changing. So maybe you are using AI right now to do scripts. You've probably even seen me talk about different ways I use it. And it's always a work in progress, but this new way of how I'm getting it ready is the best I have done yet, and it's crushing. So let me walk you through how to do this. Now, this is gonna be automated for me. Right now, I just did it manually just so I can get it down pat, and now I'm actually working on automating it. So the steps work like this, and I'll walk you through how to do it in a second. So first, I find unicorn ads. That is the basis and the foundation of when I'm making scripts for brands. I go and I find unicorn ads. I'll show you how to do that in a second. I then save those ads. Then I get their transcripts. There's a lot of ways to do that. There's a lot of platforms out there that can do that, but I get their transcripts. And then what I do is I then save them to a doc. Now, I don't save all of the unicorn ads. I typically do 5 to 10. Here's their scripts. Here's the actual text, maybe even a descriptor about what they're showing inside the video as well. And then I have AI analyze them. Now, this is really important because I'm starting to see that when I have AI first analyze them and give what they think is the reason why it works, I can kind of course correct its thinking so that when I have it make scripts, it's actually good. I've tested this before where I didn't have AI first analyze it and tell me what it thought, but I found that the scripts honestly weren't that good. So I actually learned this principle in a slightly unrelated way where I was doing a new bedroom design. I was rendering my bedroom. On the back wall, you've probably seen them before. It was an accent wall with the picture frame molding on it, all black. And because it was quite complicated, I used AI to help me map out the exact dimensions. So I gave it an outline of what I want it to look like, and then I used AI to tell me what dimensions and how far apart and exact spacing I need to do everything. And I started to do it. And then I noticed within like the first 15 minutes that it was calculations were way off. I was like, what the heck? So I went back and I corrected my mistake where every step of the way, what I should have done is I should have had AI double check itself and double check its math. So instead I redid it. And throughout specific steps, I said, okay, now check the work, make sure this is going to sum up to the right spacing, height, and width. Now check your work. And along the way, when I did that, had to analyze itself. At the end result was absolutely perfect. So I incorporated that into the ads where along the way, I have it tell me, okay, what do you believe is the reasons why this works? So I can course correct. Then what I have it do is then I save each of those. So any of the ad formulas, have it save it as long as with along with the winning ads and what AI believed to be the reason why it performs so well, or my course correction of that. Then I give it a full reference about the brand. So I give it reviews, claims, product descriptions. Now, most people do reviews, most people do product descriptions. What I am noticing though is that the moment I added in claims, I started to find that AI could be way more creative. So what do I do about the claims? So the claims, which I'll show you in a second, I do it. What are claims that customers have said? What are claims that I can say that I remember or I noticed? What are claims that other people online or the internet have said about this product or this ingredient? But then also what has science said about this ingredient or about this thing? And then what are some of the conspiracy theories or out of the box things people claim about that particular product or ingredient, even though it may kind of like be out there? And I get all that information because I find that the moment I did, like I said, it started being way more creative, and you'll see an example in a second. Then I give the script a starting point. Like, do I want to write a script about a mass desire, about a particular concept or idea, around a persona, a topic, or if you don't even know what to do, one of my favorite things I'm doing recently is just saying, it would be awesome if I had a video that just talked about these things. And then it'll come up with a script. So if you don't know a place to start, just start with would be awesome if. So that's the process. Now let me walk you through exactly how this works. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a brand inside of our mentorship group. So this brand sells supplements, okay? And what we're gonna do is they sell a lion's mane supplement. So I've already started this process, but I'll walk you through what I did. So we use Atria for our ad spying tool. I'll put a link in the description. I like Atria for a lot of reasons. The main reason is it combines foreplay and motion together. And for us, it was just a bit cost savings and have everything inside one platform. So what I do is very simple, just for you guys, type in lion's mane. And what it'll do is it'll pull up brands that sell that product, that sell lion's mane. So here's lion's mane. So I can say, just like foreplay, I can save it. Lion's mane, sorry, not manes. So what I can do is I can save it. So here's another product, lion's mane. So what I'll do is I'll save it to a board. So I've already started a board about lion's mane, but for this particular one, I'm doing videos. So what I want to do is I want to change it to just video. Now, if you remember the first step is what? Find unicorn ads. Now, my definition of a unicorn ad is an ad that has been running for an extended period of time, a long period of time, and it's still running. The reason why is because logic would tell us a brand would not turn off an ad if it was still accomplishing some objective that was important to them. Now, 9 times out of 10, the objective is still getting sales at an acceptable CPA. Now, there may be outliers where the people running the account have no idea what they're doing. We can exclude that. So what I want to do here is I want to go to status is active. So it's an ad that is still active and longest running. So what that would tell me is the ads that have been running for an insanely long period of time that are still active, meaning they're still live on the ad account right now. There's something about them that is an outlier or a unicorn. Now, we can't see how much they're spending, but we can make this logical conclusion that that is true. So what I can do here is this brand, they've been running this ad since March 2024. So that's been over 12 months. Okay. So what I can do here is I'd save it, add it to this folder, and I'll go ahead and pretend like I did this. So I'll add to this folder, confirm. Now what I do is I have a bunch of ads that have been running for months and months and months, some of them over a year. And what I want to do is I want to just take those ads and come up with a transcript. So for example, this ad right here, I'm going to click on it, transcribe the script, and I'd save the script. Now, as it's doing that, AdTree has this really cool option where, and I know others do as well, where you can take the script and then you can create a similar script. You can do that. For this reason, I find that using those tools, the script, it's similar, but I'm just wanting a foundation so I can have AI help me be even more creative and come up with net new concepts. And that's why I like to do my version, because this doesn't come up with net new concepts. It comes up with anything more like just our take or our version of the same thing. So what I would do is I would just copy all these scripts and put them in a doc. Okay. So I've already done that. So I have a whole doc right here where I've saved all the viral scripts. Okay. Now I took 5 videos, made all the viral scripts with the timestamp, what's being said. And these are videos that have been running for a long period of time and also behind brands that spend a lot of money. And a really great little secret, actually, now I'm thinking about it, is if you pair this with the video I made on how to spy on any single brand, you could actually find the brands who are spending a lot of money on ads, just making a logical conclusion based off what brands are, doing 6 or 7 or 8 figures a year in revenue. So I made the viral script, I saved their transcript. And then what I did is I had AI analyze why is it working. So my favorite copywriting tool is going to be using Claude. So I fed it the script and I asked it to analyze, okay, read and understand first and tell me what you think. So it told me what it thinks. So I now analyze the scripts and find the winning formula components. Now I've done this so many times and I've saved it, so it's pretty freaking good. But if it wasn't, I'd read through this and then I would course correct. That's not right, change this. Or actually it's this, I want you to word it this way and change that. But essentially it gave me specifics down under each block. I call them creative bricks or blocks of what works and why, with examples as well based off the scripts. So now I have a really good base understanding each of the components. When do those viral videos tend to talk about and mention certain things at what second section of the viral video? Okay, all right, the next step. And so every brand I work with is just a full resource document that we save and have archived to make really creative stuff. Then I just gave it details about the brand. So the brand's called Flow State. I gave it just details about the brand, specifics, be as specific as possible. What are key features, composition and quality, usage recommendations. And then I started giving it customer feedback. So I don't go too crazy with reviews. After 50 or 100 reviews, it stops making any sense, but I gave it reviews from the people about the brand. Okay. Then I went into claims. Now I mentioned this earlier. Claims are so important. So to come up with claims, what I did is I use a version of Grok, GPT, and Perplexity. Perplexity gives me resource links to, if I give it direction to like scientifically sourced journals, right? So I can take those links, get those scientifically research documents, also archive those so that it can be analyzed. But I'm looking at these areas. Number one, I'm looking at it again from what claims do customers say, what claims do people say online, what claims does science say if I can find scholarly research journals, and what are some of the crazy out there claims people make. You can go to Reddit to find that. So for example, Reddit has whole channels and themes around specific ingredients and what people have found. And you want to take some of those, even tinfoil hat claims, because it just helps GPT to be creative, right? So I took all those claims. I think there was like, for lion's mane, there was over, 20 something claims? No, 40 claims. That's just 40 claims, right? That I found online from customers and from scientific journals. Okay. So once I have that, then I can go back to writing the script. So I've done 2 big components that most people don't talk about. I've added claims, number 1. Number 2, claims around like science and things like that. But then also also along the way, I had Cloud tell me what it thinks are the winning formulas for those 5 unicorn ads I made. And then I agreed with this, so we went with it. So then I told it this. I said, okay, now I want you to write a confrontational video script. So I gave it a theme. So remember the last step was to now give it a starting point. Now for me, I gave it a starting point of a persona. This is a persona that I have seen, in my opinion, underserved in the lion's mane market. So I gave it a starting point. My starting point was I want a confrontational video script about a mom who has negative feelings about being a stay-at-home mom and resented her kids because of it, because it was really because of her mind wasn't clear, and how taking lion's mane cleared it up. Reference the claims in the doc. This is important. I'm telling it to reference the claims in the doc because this is where I'll typically find creativity originates from, and then tell the story in as realistic voice and tone from a mom's perspective. Okay, so it gave me one version. I course corrected, said I wanted to make the hook in the beginning. It needs to be either shocking or on purposely false to get attention. So now I'm just drawing on marketing fundamentals that I've taught you guys on this channel. But it's actually important that I'm actually working on a master hooks list of the most crazy viral hooks of all time, and we're going to use that as a training model for future video scripts, but no needed. I knew this is a marketing practice that works quite well. Okay, and then once it gave me that, I told it to put it into columns, where column 1 was scene, column 2 was a script, and column 3 was visual. And the reason why I did that is because I'm going to hand this over now to an editor, and an editor can then take those visuals and either go find those visuals, use the client's Dropbox folder to find B-roll, and or make it with AI. And let's take a look at it. So this is crazy. Look how crazy good the script is. I used to fantasize about running away from my children. Like, you see a video of a mom saying that, you are going to stop the scroll to watch, especially if you're in that persona. This is so good. Yes, you heard that right. The perfect mom, she's lying to you. I locked myself in the bathroom just to cry, wondering how could I love my kids yet feel so trapped. My brain was literally failing me, the forgotten appointments, constant brain fog, inability to finish a sentence, because if you're a mom, you have kids, you identify with this insanely close to home. Then my friend handed me a flow state lines mate. It repairs your brain, she said. Again, she's having a story narration inside her head, telling a story. 2 weeks later, and it's first person point of view. 2 weeks later, I stopped losing my keys. 3 weeks later, I remember my appointments. 1 month later, I actually finished a book. Now we're showing time progression, which is amazing tactic for marketing fundamentals. Showing the time progression. The real miracle, I stopped resenting my children. It wasn't them I resented. It was my brain chemistry betraying me. Lion's mane stimulates nerve growth factor. It literally helps grow new brain cells and repair damaged ones. Try lion's mane, because sometimes the difference between loving motherhood and hating is just a cognitive function. That is a freaking good script. Very, very good, that you would not have gotten otherwise without going through this process. Yeah, so give that a try. I'm finding using this specific set of sequences is giving me wild scripts, and I'm only showing you just the start of them. Just one thing to understand as well is those 2 marketing fundamentals I mentioned just from the years of doing this. Confrontation is a really great marketing tactic. You want ads that are confrontational because it stops people from scrolling. Number 2, especially if you create a curiosity loop, and a way to create a curiosity loop is to tell a falsehood that later you reveal as true, because then it creates that itch in a person's brain, like, okay, why the heck does this mom resent her kids, right? So give that a try. This is crushing. See you in the next video.